Hello everyone, this is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and today is Monday, October the 2nd, 2023, and this is my Flosstube number 97. I'm sorry, this is the third time that I've done this. If you are a new subscriber or someone who has been checking me out for a while, please consider subscribing so that I can enable you with a project or two. And for my returning friends and subscribers, thank you so very much for coming back each and every time that I do upload a video. I wanted to first let you know that Mr. Albert is doing so much better. He did receive a clean bill of health from the doctor today, right before this Flosstube actually. He is doing much better. I am going to still be using his ear medicine. The doctor said that his ears were clear, but a pound of prevention is worth a cure or something. So, I'm still going to use that. And also, thank you all so very much for your comments, period. I am a little behind on comments. The end of the month is for my job is always very busy. It is very draining. And so I did not get a chance to catch up on comments. I also got to get out of the house a couple of times this week, and so that was really good. I had pizza with a friend, and then yesterday I had a birthday party to go to, so it was great to get out of the house during these great weather days when it's not too hot, but the sun is still shining. So, let me give you a little heads up. My grandchildren are here, and they just got finished doing my, one little patch of leaves. So, they may be running in and out. I'm not sure. So, there might be a lot of starting and stopping of this video. So, I just want you to be aware that is why. But this is the time that I have to do it, and so I have to do it now. I can't wait for them to go home, so I'm gonna go ahead on and power through and get it done. I was talking about Albert. I did that. Okay, let's just go ahead, since I've lost all train of thought of where I was. Oh, what I did over the week. So it was nice to get out. I have a couple of friends that are trying to make sure that I get out of the house at least once a week, because I don't leave very often. You know, I can be here. I could not leave my house for a week and be just fine with that. So, but I have a couple of friends who are trying to change that whole scenario. So it was good to be out and about. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. I have lots to share with you this week. I have a new start. I have a finish. I have a learning, something new that I learned. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. And with that, I'm going to update you on what my September stats were. If you are new here, please remember that please know that I do participate in some Facebook groups, and a magazine monthly cross stitch challenge is one of the groups that I participate in, and we just came off of WIPGO. So the numbers that you are about to hear are because of WIPGO. I don't usually stitch quite this much in a month. So the number of stitches that I did get in for September was 9,527 stitches. I worked on 20 different projects. I had one new start and 0 finishes. And for my daily average stitch total is 318 stitches. Now that's because I worked on 20 projects, and in those 20 projects, the magazine monthly requirement for AB Single is 1 hour of stitching or 100 stitches, and I stitched over 100 stitches on all of the projects that I worked on. So that's why my stitch count is so high, because it's not normally 9,500 stitches. So I'm just putting that out there, because I don't consider myself a very fast stitcher at all. So but that's what the total was. So let's jump right in with my new start. And this is not it. Nope, that's not it. Here it is. I grabbed the wrong bag. Although I'll be looking to put this in another bag. Some of my projects, I'm like, you need a prettier bag than this little plastic bag. Yesterday, on October the 1st, I started Autumn Quaker. Thank you to my special friend who sent me this chart. I really, really appreciate it. It is beautiful. And I did get a start on it yesterday. This is by Rosewood Manor, one of my favorite designers. I am stitching this on a 28 count Autumn by Under the Sea Fabrics, which was a fabric donated to me also by another dear friend. And here, let me show you. This is the fabric. And here is my start. I will be working on this. This is my seasonal Sunday piece. So I do work on this every Sunday until the next season changes. So I'll be working on Autumn Quaker until I get to Winter Quaker, which won't be until December, January. I am using the called for Valdani flosses. And that is the beginning of the top of the page. Right up there. I do want to, so this is the fourth one. I now have all of them in, I now have all of the Quakers by Rosewood Manor started. So this was the last one. And do you see this purple? I mean to tell you, when I pulled that ball out, I was just like, oh my goodness. I might just need to buy a ball of the purple just to keep on hand, because it's beautiful. Valdanis, for those of you who don't know, are 3-stranded and they come in a ball. Here are, I'm going to try to, I can try to hold it up. If I can get the little package open. And they come in a little ball, and you use them as they come off the ball. Look at that. Isn't that magnificent? And it doesn't have a name on here, but I believe that Miss Karen gives it a name in the chart. No, she doesn't. But anyway, I love working with them. I do use a 26 needle with all 3 strands, and I don't have a problem when I'm using the 28 count. The difference with the Autumn one, each one of them is stitched on a different fabric. The Winter, I've been stitching on a 14 count Ada, because that's what I stitched on when I started Winter Quaker. This is a 28 count Autumn, and it is a linen. So each one of them are stitched on a different fabric, and I am enjoying it. So that was my new start for yesterday. I had meant to start it on the first day of autumn, but time just got away from me, and so, and again, that is my seasonal Sunday stitch. I'm just not putting none of the stuff back in the bag. I got stuff still sitting there. So that was my new start for the month of October. I will be having some more new starts this month. I am feeling the need to start some things, and so I'm going to give in to that. I'm going to give in to the desire and get some things started, because you can't finish what you don't start. So that's my rule right there. Okay, so now on to the whips. I had 3 whips that I wanted to put some work in when I came at you last week. I shared those plans with you, and so the first one I worked on, which was on the 27th, is in this fun Lynn X Stitches Creates bag. She is on Instagram. That's where she sells her bags at. Is Home of a Needleworker. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where I did end up. I finished the vine completely, including the berries. There are 3 little X's that I need to put in, like right here. And this is going away for a little while. When I come back, when I pick this up again, I am going to work that border all the way across, I believe, so that I can get that in. I am stitching this on a 28 count vanilla cream from Atomic Ranch Fabrics. And I am using the called for over-dyed flosses. Those berries are just so rich. That color is called Razzle Dazzle, I believe, by Classic Colorworks. Yes. And it is just a nice color. So that is where I am at Home of a Needleworker. I started this on September the 1st with my friend Carolyn Zook. And so I will be putting it away for a little while. I had a wonderful comment. She, her name, I believe, is Miss Carolyn or Miss Deborah. I think it was Miss Deborah or Dorothy. It's in my email, and that's why I can't look it up right now. I guess I could, but she suggested to me that for my whips that don't fall into a category that I already have, so like the ones that are others, she suggested that I put them on a WIPGO board, and then they would get worked on during the year via WIPGO. And thank you so very much. That is a great idea. I am considering doing 2 WIPGO boards for 2024 just for that reason. My others would go on a separate WIPGO board, which would make me have 4 WIPGO projects a month. In talking it over, I did decide that I wouldn't do the 700 stitches like I do for the current WIPGO, that I would probably do like 500 or something like that. The other thing I am considering, you know, we are moving into planting season, and I have got ideas like just swirling around, and I'll talk them out with EJ and all of that. The other idea that I am tossing around is Sammy J does categories, and I can link her down below. She does categories for the month, and she sets her own goals for the categories. So I'm also considering jumping in 2024, doing the categories with her. So she listed what the categories for the month of October are. And so I'm going to try this month. I don't know why I'm going to try it this month, because I have a bigger acrostic this month in the magazine cross stitch challenge group. But some of the categories are longest since it's been worked on. So the project that has just been lingering out there and not been worked on for the longest period of time. Your oldest whip, which I don't even know what my oldest whip is. A holiday whip. A whip that has words. And a whip that is older than 2 years. So I'm going to try it and see if I can make it work. And maybe participate fully in 2024 with my others. So I put 295 more stitches into Home of a Needleworker. So that was really good. And that is by Country Cottage Needleworks. The next project I worked on the 28th, the 30th, and on the 1st. And that is Temperature Butterflies by Stitching Mommy. And this is a rendition of what mine will look like when it is complete. And here's a picture of where I was when I showed it last week. And here is where it is now. So I finished the October butterfly. And remember, I was telling you about those cold days we had 4 of them. And the temperature was 45 degrees and 46 degrees. And that was the October butterfly. And so I finished that, and I came over and started on the November butterfly. I have the body and both wings in, and now I'm doing the segmentation for the wings. I will be working on this continually. You will, from here on out, you'll see it every week until it gets finished. I am stitching this on a 28 count Artemis by Stitch Me. I am using the dark outlining is $37.99, and I did a sulky conversion for the inside of the butterflies. I am loving this piece. It is on my year of whips, and I will be getting this completed. Once I get the December butterfly done, I will be coming back in and putting in the antennae for the butterflies. But that is where we are right now. And it makes me so happy that I have kept pushing on this piece. I will be finishing the segmentation on both wings and color completing like I did on the October butterfly for November. And my hope is to have it completed by the end of October so that I can get the December butterfly in and get this finished before December the 18th. I am in a group and it is called Year of Whips. It is closed for right now. I'm I haven't heard whether she's going to restart it for 2024. Please, Melanie, please, please, please. But this will be number 4 when I get it completed. I have started with the intention of her doing Year of WIPs again in 2024. I have started a list of projects that I would like to get completed in 2024 also. So I'm hoping that, you know, she'll be doing it. I put in a total of 494 stitches on Temperature Butterfly this past week. And did I say that's by Stitching Mommy? I'm pretty sure I did. Thank you, Sarah. I love it. And I thank you for a great design. The next project that I worked on was the 29th and the 30th. And it is Home Sampler. And it is by Durene Jones. It was in the it was in Just Cross Stitch magazine, the 2019. Yeah, because that was the year that I started cross stitching, but didn't even know about Just Cross Stitch magazine. And here's a picture of what it looked like the last time that I showed it. And here is where I am now. So I put the house in. Oh, good. The white stitches, you can see them. So I put in all the foundation for the house. I worked on the roof. We had a Zoom call for the magazine monthly challenge group on Saturday. So I did fill in. I did the outline of the roof and then did the fill in for it. I then also put in, this is a window ledge, and I put in the door. The chimney still needs purple stitches up top, and then it'll be completed. So I'll be working on the house to get it completed. And then once I do the house, I have one red flower that needs to be put in here. And then it's all, I need to make a decision whether or not. So as you know, from me talking about it a couple of videos ago, I made a oopsie on this chart. So a couple of things. I'm not putting in these little red hearts, red and white hearts right here. I'm not doing that. I'm not putting in these black, brown hearts here either. So now I will have back stitching to do because all of the flowers, even on the border, have a black backstitched vine or stem. So I still need to do the back stitching on it and put these little 3-4 stitch flowers in the corners. So I have this to finish and the house to finish. The house should not take me very long. I've done the lion's share of the stitching on the house, so it should not take very long. Just filling in the windows. So I went from being very skeptical that I could get this done by December the 18th to being 90% sure that I will get this finished. I will be working on this every spare minute that I have. This and Temperature Butterfly and Seasonal Sunshine are the 3 projects that I still need to complete for Year of WIPs. And my plan is to get all 3 of them completed. So that is where I am. So with that being said, though, I had to, you know, I centered the house as best I could between the two trees. So what that means is that I don't, on one side, I don't have enough space to put this whole flower in, but I've come up with an idea that I think might work, where I've changed the flower design on this flower to make it fit, and I will put that flower in the space. I think it's actually going to go over here. I'll put that flower in that space to give it some balance, because I have more space on this side than I have on this side. But I think that's a good plan. That way it ties the bottom to the top and vice versa. And then I'll start on the back stitching for all of the flower vines. And it'll be done. Woof, just like that. So that is home sampler. I was trying to see, because I think I started this before I started keeping, oh nope. I am stitching, oh, it just says on a 28 count color and cotton. And I'm using the call for DMC flosses. I actually picked this chart up off of the very first retreat that I went to. It was Stitch Away in 2020, before the world changed. And it was ironic because I had just started, they had just started the magazine monthly group. So I didn't even have magazines. So that chart enabled me to be able to participate in the group because it was a magazine chart. And I put in a total of 473 stitches on home sampler this time. And those are my whips for the week. I did not have any cross stitch finishes, so I am going to move on to my October cross stitching plans. Pardon me. WIPGO numbers, of course, were called on the 25th, and the numbers are 14 and 19. And my number 14 was Vickie's Choice. And by Vickie, I mean Vickie Stitchin' Button. She is a dear friend, and so I gave her a pick. And she chose Purple Rain by Heaven and Earth Designs. So that will be my number 14. And for my WIPGO calls, if you are new here, I put in 700 stitches during the month. I actually have the whole year to put in the 700 stitches. So that's my goal, is 700 stitches. And then for the number 19, the category is whip with an animal. And I chose something that I started last year. And it is Fall is in the Air. And this is by Fat Quater Shope. It's So Emma. It was a Stitch Quarterly last year. So I'll be working on this for 700 stitches. And 700 stitches will hopefully bring me close to a finish on this piece. So those are the WIPGO numbers for this month. Okay, so in the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge group, this month, like it went right out of my head. The theme, I almost called it the category. The theme for this month is retreat. And so for me, I chose a project that I started with some friends at a retreat. And that is, It was a Garon Retreat exclusive by Teresa Kogut, and that is Sunshine and Blooms. Sorry, my brain just went phew. And so I have a very meager start on it. I just started it at StitchCon, and so it doesn't even have, right now, I think it goes this way. I'll be rechecking that because I don't even know which way it's supposed to go. So, and I am stitching this with the called for everything. I bought it as a kit. So that is my retreat theme. That's what happens when you got so much stuff. Like, y'all wouldn't believe this table is covered with stuff. For the acrostic, the word is self-care, which is an awesome word. And I was really thankful when I saw it. So for my S, I picked up my new start, my new year, new start for this year, and it is Heartstring Samplery Amazing Grace. And I am going to be starting on this third row. That's where I am. So I still need to finish this piece. This goes over here. I need to put that in. And then I can start on the third row of stitching. My goal for this piece is to finish it before the new year comes in. So I needed to make sure I put it in this, at least this month, so I can see how much stitching I can get in on it. I did only put it down for 200 stitches, but I'm going to keep working it through the month until I see how close I can get it to a finish. It might end up being in next month also. The next letter in self-care is E. And for my E, I chose Emily Call, which is a designer over on Etsy. And the project is Thankful. And I did a complete conversion on this piece. I changed the colors, I changed the fabric color, all of it. And that is where it's at now. The next letter in self-care is the letter L, and my L is Loohoo Stitches. And my Loohoo Stitch chart is Autumn Peg. Bless her heart. I really love this little girl right here. All these leaves, though, look like my yard right now. Although my grandkids have gotten up all the leaves that have fallen so far, thankfully. And you just saw this recently. I stitched on it for AB Singo. And so there is where I am. The next letter is an F, and my F stands for Fox Run, which is the fabric for the chart. And my chart is Let Us Be Thankful Row by Bent Creek. I also did a color conversion on this chart. And I have the turkey, the U, and the L completed. So I need to put some more work in on this for sure. But that is where we are on Thankful, or Let Us Be Thankful by Bent Creek. The next letter is C, and my C stands for Carolyn Manning Designs, and I will be starting Sunlight on Water. This has been completely converted to color and cotton threads and color and cotton fabric. So I will be starting this month. The next letter is A, and my A stands for Autumn Cloche. Oh my goodness, I saw Jessie Marie's Autumn Cloche today, and I was just like, she already got butterflies in. She has all of this upper part done with the butterflies on it. And here is where my Autumn Cloche is right now. I just have the very top of the cloche put in. So I will be putting in some work on that. Okay. The next letter is R. And so for my R, I put in Prince Roger Nelson. That is his legal name. And so I will be working on Purple Rain. I guess I could have used R for rain also. But all I kept thinking was it's Prince Roger Nelson. And here is where I am on that. And then my last project for self-care is going to be E, and it's for Emma, and the company is It's So Emma, and it is the fox. Fall is in the air. And here I have a great deal of the tree completed and just barely started on the fox. So a lot of these projects this month, I'll put down, this one will get 700. Prince Purple Rain will get 700. And the rest of the projects will be getting 200. I did that because I have some other goals or some other things that I want to start. But I have to get all of my acrostic work completed before I do that. Plus, I have 3 projects that I'll be working on for Year of Whips. So I have to do all of that before I can have my new start. I have one new start that I'm going to do no matter what. But I have 3 others that I want to also start in the month of October. And if I don't get them to start them in October, then they'll just be starts in November because I want to start them. So that is where I am on cross stitching. So now I'm going to clean this up because I have some quilting and some crochet to show you. I will also be working on Autumn Quaker every Sunday from now until December, to the end of December. Okay, so in quilting news, I finished, I know I said I had a finish, but it wasn't a cross stitch finish. I just said I have a finish. I finished my quilt that I started for National Sew a Jelly Roll Day. And I am going to show it to you now. I'm going to stand up. And here is the quilt. So now all I have to do, and here's the bottom of it. So now I need to get a backing fabric, and I'm not sure just how I am going to quilt this yet. If I'm going to, when I say how I'm going to quilt it, if I'm going to do it on my sewing machine, or if I'm going to find a long armor to do it. It would probably be quicker if if I found a long armor to take care of it. But here it is. This is, let me show you this side first. So here it is. This was a free design on Fat Quater Shope. And they have tons and tons of free quilt patterns on their website. If you look under the blog, you can type in Jelly Roll quilt and you will get probably 10 to 12 to I don't even know how many. I know it looks kind of wrinkly. I did press it yesterday, but then I folded it back up. So that is my quilt. It is completed. And I will be, oh, let me pull this out. So they started, and it actually started already, but the blocks aren't due until, so this is my next quilt. And this is unique in the fact that, two things. It's called Petty 4 Quilt Along. Mine is going to be Petty 6 because they are using 4-inch paper piecing pads. I'm going to pull one out. Where is it? So this is the first, these are the first blocks that you do, is the courthouse steps. And you sew on the paper, and I don't think I'm explaining this very well. But you sew on the paper, and create your block. So I worked up a block yesterday. I have been in Sew Sampler before I stopped getting the Sew Sampler box, but I have been getting the Sew Sampler box for years before that. So I have a lot of different fabrics, and one consistent fabric that they always send out is Lori Holt fabric. So I have, the box that you just saw is all of the Lori Holt fabric that I have collected over the years. And so I am doing my courthouse steps in Lori Holt, or I'm doing this project in Lori Holt fabric because I have a ton of it and I need to use what I have. So this is the block. It is called Courthouse Steps. And I don't know which fabric line this is from. I don't know. but I will be using smaller to medium-sized prints for these blocks because they're 6 inches finished. So right now this block measures 6.5. When I sew it into a quilt, it'll be 6 inches. So that is the newest sew along that I jumped on board with, or sew along, quilt along, and I need to make 7 more of these blocks. It says by this coming Friday. That's not going to probably happen, but this quilt along goes through April the 4th, so I'll just do blocks as I can and keep up as best I can. So you'll probably be seeing those in the coming weeks as I get them completed. And I use these, they're actually for, why is this not closing? They're actually for paper crafting. I don't know why this is not closing now. They're actually for paper pads, but this thing won't close now. Oh, let me put this back in here. Oh well, I'll figure out what's wrong with it or replace it, because I have several of these. I keep projects in these tubs like this so that I can keep everything organized and together. So that is the next thing that I'm working on. On top of, I'm still getting ready to cut a new Christmas gift. So I'll be showing you that when I get it all cut and sewn together. So I have a couple of different projects like in the works for quilting because of Christmas gifts that are coming up. Okay. I said I would be cutting, so you know, my plan for quilting is to get those other 7 blocks completed, and then I need to, which I'm probably going to do before I get those other 7 blocks completed, I need to start on my next Christmas gift. So and that means cutting it and putting a couple of the blocks together, because I would like to get another quilt completed by the end of the month so that I can get it quilted. I'm going later on, at the beginning of next week, I'm going to a long arm quilter so that I can see about pricing and all of that, because it may be more economical and feasible for me and timely for me to just get them long arm quilted and move on. So we'll see, because I still got to put the binding on once I get it back. But I'm a machine binder, so it shouldn't be that bad. So the last little bit that I'm going to share for my crafting is crochet. So I watched a couple of videos. Erica Arnett, she's on YouTube also. She does all kinds of things. She showed I watched her, and I watched TL Yarn Crafts. TL Yarn Crafts I watch a lot. Like, I've watched almost all of her videos. But I was watching, one of the things that I wanted to learn how to do was granny squares. And I kept finding videos for granny squares that were single squares, which is usually traditionally how granny squares are done, but I wanted to see how you could do one where you just keep going. And she had, Erica had I'll link her down below. She did have a video where you could just keep going. And so, oh, don't pull out. And so I learned how to make a granny square, and this is where I am. So I am working on, this is the second corner, this is the third corner, and then this down here is the start of a new corner. So that is where I am now. This is the Walmart yarn that I have been using, because once I got the rhythm down, I just kept right on going. So I have made a nice size granny square, and I'm going to keep going until the ball runs out. And I might go get another one just to see how big I can make this. It won't fit my bed or anything like that, but just to see how far I can get on it. I do work on this for about 20 to 25 minutes every day. And then I also, if I have a doctor's appointment or an appointment where I'm just going to be sitting for a while, I also take it with me. So that is where I am now. And it's actually, I think I'm showing it to you backwards. No. Nope, that's right. So this yarn has gray, light gray, purple, and white in it. So that is the crochet portion of the video. I do have plans for crochet, which takes me into my haul, into my investments portion. So it was so strange. I did not write investments down on my sheet last week, and so I had them sitting right here and never even showed them because it wasn't written down on a piece of paper. And so, and I'm going to show this first so that I can hurry up and put it away. My daughter, the one that lives here with me, is a pink fanatic. She always has been a pink fanatic. And so I am going to make her an Afghan. And I found this wool. It's called Wool Ease blanket. Well, on here they show you making a hat and 2 hand mitts, but I'm going to use this to make her a throw blanket. And I am searching for patterns now. Jessie yesterday or Saturday on the Magazine Monthly Zoom told me I need to start a Ravelry page. So I'm going to do that because I can get free patterns or ask questions. So I'm going to do that. And then I am going to get started working on this blanket for my daughter. The issue is going to be, like, she lives here. So I'm going to have to work on it in the morning when she is still asleep, and that is when I also cross stitch. So if I do 20-25 minutes of crochet, you know, I should move it along. I had hoped that I would be able to get it done in time for Christmas, but with everything else, like I think I have set my expectations like way up here. Like, I can't do everything. So if I work on it, it may not get done for Christmas, but I'll just tell her, like, you see this? I'm working on this. This is your Christmas gift. Oh, I have already made her a quilt, so I am not making her another quilt. Not right now, anyway. Maybe when she finds a house and moves into another house, or moves out of my house into another house, I'll make her another quilt for her bed then. But she has a king size bed. Like, I'm not in the mood to make a king size quilt. Anyway, let us keep going. So I picked up some Kona jelly rolls. This is to go along with the Christmas quilts that I'm making. I received my fabric of the month from Bestitch Me. So if you have not received yours yet and you do not want to see it, please skip ahead just, you know, a little bit. I don't want to spoil anyone's surprise. I'm not going to say the name. I'm just going to show the tag because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Here is the fabric. And here is the name. And it's gorgeous. I don't know what I'm going to use it for just yet, but it is gorgeous. It almost speaks to a spring project for me. So that is my Bestitch Me fabric of the month. It just came today. And then I also have my Rogue stitching fabric, and it is a 36 count. In the Bestitch Me, I get a 32 count Lugana, and in Rogue stitching, I get a 36 count. And it is called Wise Wolf. That'll make a nice night sky. So this was part of the haul that I didn't show, part of the investments that I didn't show last week. And then when I went to Keepsakes, they had put me back one of the Mad for Plaid bags that are in purple now. So I picked that up. And I picked up this number 5 Concord to stitch my initials in on it. And then I picked up, I love Sweet Wing Studios. I love them, that design company. And it says, bless and keep, and this is the chart. And I really love this. This will be I don't know, I have so many ideas. I already know I have one New Year, New Start. I might have a couple New Year, New Starts. Because this means a lot to me. This saying means a lot to me. And so I'm going to see when I can get that started. I also received my Sew Sampler box from the Quater Shope. And it is called Rustic Autumn. I have already opened this box and I was really glad. So I received a new 45 millimeter rotary blade, like duh. And I love the Endurance blades. When they say that these bad boys cut like butter, like a hot knife through butter, they cut some fabric, and I mean it's precision. So if you have not ever tried the Olaf Endurance blades, please pick you up a pack and try them. This is new to me. It is called Acorn, and it is a press pin. So it has a starch inside of it, and you use it to, I've seen a quilter using this on her channel and wondered about it. And so you use it on the seam, and then you press it, and it's supposed to keep your seam super flat. So if anyone has ever tried this before, please let me know. I've never tried it before. My idea of steam is, or starch is best press. So, because the others stay flow, it makes my fabric too crunchy. I can't. And then there's this cute little, it's called Bits and Bobs. It's a sewing tray, and you you know, you snap the snaps together on the corners, and then it makes this cute little sewing tray, which is going to come in handy with this paper piecing. Because you always have little bits when you trim your blocks down, so it goes together and it's just like that. And I'm sure the more I use it and get it out the package, it'll square up for me. But that's it. And then there's 2 patterns in here. This pattern is exclusive to this box. So, but I am going to use, does this have it in here? No. Okay, good. This will be the pattern that I will be making when I get ready to start this. I mean, this is cute and all. These little houses with trees and everything, but I like this rustic. It is called Jelly Roll Railway, and that's the chart that I'll be that's the quilt that I'll be making out of this jelly roll. So that is all of my investments. I am really trying to cut back and use what I have. The jelly roll strips, like I needed those because I hate cutting jelly roll strips. I'm not big on cutting anyway, so the more I can get away with not, the better I like it. So that is what my investments looks like. I know I said I was going to be cutting back, but it doesn't seem that way, does it? But some of this stuff is, you know, club stuff. And so I didn't stop the clubs. I just, you know, tried to stop buying so much. I am going to be placing an order, though, because at 123 Stitch, because I need to get, so I was watching Miss Dina, and her birthday start is called Felice Naughty Dog. And I want that pattern so bad. I'm going to change it over to Albert. I'm going to change the dog over to Albert's colors and stitch that. So I have got to get on top of that. And then my friend is having a birthday, and she wants to start this great big old massive project. Oh my goodness. 380 by 95 by 380. Like, oh my goodness, I don't even know. I don't know how I let myself get talked into that, but you know. Woo. Well, I guess our time is coming to an end. I appreciate you all so very, very much. I appreciate that you like all of my hobbies. There are a few that I still haven't gotten back into yet, so I'm probably not going to either, but it's been fun. It keeps me busy, and I need to stay busy, especially since I don't really go anywhere. You know, my life has changed so much. I used to have all these friends, and we would party and go to each other's houses and do this and do that, and I don't have that anymore. You know, some people, you got to let them go for reasons that don't need to be talked about. You just have to let certain things go. And so, you know, now I just have a core group of people that I'm friends with. And so I don't get to do a whole lot. We don't do a whole lot together. So, but it's okay. You know, I like being busy, and I like doing what I'm doing, and that's all that really matters. So I am going to say goodbye for now. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And love you. Mean it. Bye.